Good afternoon, viewers. Welcome to another episode of Visible Change. I'm Tebuhuaga Nelani. Today we are interviewing CES patients, Chavalala in Pretoria CBD. CES patients, welcome.
Thank you, Sister Boho.
How are you?
I'm well, how are you?
I'm fine. CES patients, tell us about yourself. Who is Sister Patience?
Sure. It's always a tough one to answer. Well, my name is Patience Chavalala. I am an attorney. I own this company, Patience Chavalala Incorporated. It's my baby. I've been an attorney since 2011. So that's like over 10 years now. Yeah. So this is when it started as a sole proprietor law firm. And it's just recently, 2 years ago, that I registered it as a private company. But it's fully owned or wholly owned by me and a female black-owned company.
Wow, that's very interesting. So, CES patients, I hear you are an attorney. But before being an attorney, take me through your journey of you growing up, liking what decided what can you do for a living. Take me through that journey.
I studied, when did I start primary school? I don't even remember, but I'll tell you about my high school. I studied at Risinga High School in Kiani D2. I passed my matric in 2001, so I started varsity in 2002. When I went to university, I don't think I was well informed about the choices of subject, what I wanted to do.
Exactly.
And I remember getting to the then University of, what is this now? It's now TUT. I forgot, what did they call it back then? I forgot. But when I got there, I registered for journalism. But initially, I wanted to study geographic information system.
Yeah.
And that required me to have maths and physics. That's why I'm saying I was ill-informed. I was not aware. I didn't know much about which choice to take.
Yeah,
career guidance-wise, I was just lost. So when I got there, I didn't even apply for my first year. It was just a thing of walking into the university, queuing on the lines and taking a chance as to which course is available.
Yeah.
I found myself studying for journalism, and it was not even the mainstream journalism. It was the versatile broadcasting, to be a radio jockey or a radio presenter, whatever that is. A year later, I think I only passed about 4 or 5 modules. I did not even complete it. I decided, you know what, at the end of the year, let me go and do something else. Then that's when I think the following year I went to study with UNISA to study. I messed up big time. I think at the time I was still very much immature in terms of school. I was not disciplined. What I really wanted was just to go to groove, go dance, come back. That time when you're studying with UNISA, I think you need discipline.
Yeah, you need to be disciplined.
Yeah, so your girl, Miss Chavalala, now the attorney, was not disciplined back then. And right now, I'm in the most disciplined field. So these are two different eras of my life. The era where I was an ill-disciplined teenager and I failed dismally with UNISA. Oh my goodness, and it's so embarrassing. But yeah, I failed. I think I qualified for supplementary exams throughout the year, and I did not pass. Then my parents decided to deport me back home. I had to make a choice between going to University of Venda or going to Teflop.
Yeah.
And I was like, Venda is way too close to home. I'm not going there. At least with Teflop, still close to the N1, I can still go to Joburg or Pretoria or whatever. But the idea was at least TEFLOP is a better devil as compared to the University of Venda. So I went and I studied my law degree LLB at the University of Limpopo TEFLOP campus. That was in 2004.
Wow, that's a nice story growing up. So take me through the journey of you being an attornist. How did you come up with the choice of telling yourself that I want to be an attornist? What inspired you mostly on being an attornist?
I had to make a choice of, maybe the choice was made for me when I could not qualify into all those other streams of like studies.
Yes.
So I went to, when I went to UNISA to register for law, they took me. I mean, at that time, there was also, wait, I'm not being honest, I just remembered. There was a lady by the name of Advocate Makubela.
Yes, yes.
She actually inspired me. I went to her house with my cousins. When we got there, she was staying in this nice, beautiful house, and I was told that she's an advocate and she's doing so well. I was like, maybe I can also do this, because I'm not aware, I'm clueless as to what is it that I can do, you know. And that is how I ended up registering for LLB. So I think I'm here more than anything because of how she inspired me. And I almost forgot that story, eh? It's quite interesting. But it's because of her, of how she carried herself, the respect that she commanded.
Yes.
Because I think also being a lawyer, being an attorney, it commands a lot of respect. People look at you and they go like, yeah,
she's a lawyer.
She's a lawyer. And automatically they assume she's moneyed, you know, and that's not the case. But the lady is actually the one that inspired me to become a lawyer. But even though I was not as disciplined, you know, at school, I would still fail my modules. I remember I hate waking up early in the morning, and even now I still hate it. I would have to go to a class that starts at 7:30, and it would be the hardest thing for me. And there are courses that I did more than once.
Yeah.
You know, but I think at the end of the day, what matters is I finally made it. I passed my LLB, and that was in 2009. It took me a while, hey? If you think of it, from 2002 when I started.
It's been quite some time.
It was like 2002, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Like after graduating high school.
Yeah.
It was like a long time ago. But I think what you can get from this is that giving up is not an option.
Yes, yes.
I think the most important thing is making sure that you
get what you want.
You get where you want. Even though it was not the easiest, but yeah, I did not make it easy on myself.
Yeah, quite interesting. I'm interested on that. So tell me, what difficulties do you face being an attorney? Like dealing with people on the daily basis, each and every time. The differences that you are getting from yourself being an attorney and a client coming to you to ask for advice. Take me through that journey.
Being an attorney also is like being a doctor.
Yes.
There are areas that the doctor is comfortable in, or the doctor is a specialist in. Me being an attorney, there are certain areas of the law that I'm comfortable in. There are certain areas where I consider myself to be quite an expert, like your divorce. My friends will tell you that when it comes to divorce, Patience is your lady. When it comes to family law, actually, as a whole, you know what, it's something that I can advise on. So the problem comes when clients will want you to advise on a certain aspect of the law that you have no clue on. And you can't tell clients that I don't know. Yeah. Because the minute you tell client that I have no idea what this is, they lose confidence. They say that lady doesn't know what she's doing, you know. So you tell clients that I'll come back to you, you listen to what they have to say. The most important thing for an attorney is to read, research, ask around, get good information, then go back to your client and advise them. And you don't tell your clients that you cannot do anything because they expect you to know, because they are lay people. They expect you, who is an attorney,
they
to
expect
know,
you to have all the information.
to have all the info. Yes, to have all the information that is related to law.
Yeah.
So I think the challenges are there where you need to go back to them, and they want to know right there. They want to have their solutions right there. But also it's impossible for me to know almost everything. Like, I'm not a conveyancer.
Yeah.
Conveyancers deal with property transfers but I know a bit about conveyancing. I'm not a notary. I don't deal with like contracts and as an area of expertise, as an area of expertise. But I can give you a little bit of information on it. But clients will not understand. You need to know everything. So those are the challenging things. But also being a woman in law, it's not easy. It's a male-dominated industry.
Yes.
You find yourself competing and in ways that you would never imagine. I think it's easy for men to get work, and for women, it's a different story. With us, we have to struggle. When I served my articles to become an attorney, and when I moved from serving articles to become a professional assistant attorney, my principal was a man. When I moved from that company to the third company, my boss was a man. So I said to myself, you know what, I'm not going to be employed. I don't want to go through these hurdles of being employed. When I started to become a lawyer, I wanted to have my own practice.
Yeah.
And I got tired of working under someone and being dominated by men.
By men, yeah.
I wanted to be a woman and stand up and like, you know what, I can do it.
Yeah.
There's nothing that stops me. Yes, I'm a woman. And most of the people that I've had the chance to work with have been men. So, yeah, I don't see why not. But it's not that easy. But we
are getting there.
We're getting there.
So tell me more about working for someone. How were you feeling working for someone and now yourself being your own boss?
At the time, I needed the exposure. I needed the experience. We all need to start from somewhere. But when you are a lawyer or when you're an attorney, you start with articles.
Yes.
That is the stage where you are not allowed to have your own practice. You need to work under someone in order for you to become an attorney. You need to go through writing board exams and. So I didn't really mind at the time. But then a time came when I said to myself, I want to spread my own wings. I cannot see myself waking up at the crack of dawn,
yes.
4 o'clock in the morning, bracing Joburg traffic, and in winter, getting the bus and the rain season. Yeah. I'm not that type of a person. I did tell you that even at varsity, I struggled to attend a class for 7:30. And I was actually, I had this conversation the other day with my partner. I was like, you need to wake up very early and you also need to leave the office very late. But I said, one of the reasons why I started my law firm is so that I can be flexible and do things at my own time.
Yeah.
But also, it's a wrong analysis.
Yes.
Because you need to work extra hard in order to maintain that comfortability that you have of not having to wake up at the crack of dawn. Because if the business collapses because you're not working as hard as you should,
it's not easy.
It's not easy. But I made a decision that I won't be employed by anyone. I want to do it myself. What's the use of being an attorney if I cannot work for myself? Yes, the industry is quite populated. There's a lot of people that are graduating every day. There are a lot of people that are studying law, getting admitted as attorneys. But I've always said that the cake is too big.
Yeah.
We can all share from it. So.
Wow, what a nice, interesting story. So tell me, which advice can you give to a young lady who's sitting at home and being confused of saying that I don't know what can I do with my life? I don't know which course to take, or I don't know how to proceed with what I have on the table. Which advice can you give?
Get information. Information is key. Research. You know someone who's at varsity from your village, if you're from the villages. Wherever you are, information is key. The internet, you research. If you want to become an attorney, what is it that you need to do? If you want to become a doctor, what is it that you need to do? I think, and as much as I did not have much information back then when I went to varsity, the situation was still a little bit better. They were still doing a little bit of career exhibitions. There would be people coming to our schools offering career exhibitions and all that. But right now, it's all gone dead. I have never heard of anyone saying that they're going to school to offer career guidance to kids and. But what I'm saying is that in the absence of those things, you know someone who is at varsity. There's a teacher at your school. Go and sit down with them and tell them that I'm thinking of doing this and this and this. What are the subjects that I can take? You can also Google on your phone if you have time for WhatsApp the entire day. Surely you have time to Google and find out if you want to become a doctor, if you want to become a paramedic, if you want to become a lawyer, what is it that you need to do? Yes. It's also does not make sense for you to want to become a doctor or to aspire to become an attorney when you are not studying that hard to get into university. So before you can start thinking of your first year at varsity as to what you need to do, you need to make sure that your grades are good. You need to make sure that you get your B's and your A's, your grade 12 marks are perfect, or your grade 11 results are good in order for you to be able to apply to university for entrance for whatever course that you need to do.
Yeah.
But get information. Ask people that are doing their first years at university. Tell them to bring you these university books, the brochures that you will go through to check. If you want to do this, this is what you need to do. If you want to do, if you want to become an attorney, you need to have good English marks.
Yes.
You just need to have, and what do they call it? A university entrance? What do they call it now?
I'm not quite sure.
A bachelor. Yes, if you want to get into university, you need to have a bachelor entrance.
Yeah.
Sort of. I'm not even sure myself what they call it, because when I passed,
let's put it as a bachelor entrance.
Yeah, when I passed, what do they used to call it? Was an exemption. Yeah, I passed with an exemption back then. So yeah, but information is key. Find out from the internet, find out from friends, find out from the teachers.
Ask around.
Ask around.
Wow, I'm so interested on that. So I hear you as patients, you are talking about work, your world is revolving around work. But let's get deeper into your own personal space. Are you a married woman, a mother? And how are you handling work with being someone's wife, a mother to kids? Take me through that space.
I'm not married. I'm a mother to a beautiful 2 years old. She just celebrated her birthday on the 19th of August. That was last week on Thursday.
Happy belated birthday.
Thank you. Yes, so she's an angel. She's a beautiful angel. I didn't know that you were also going to ask me about that, but I have a story about her, a beautiful story. She's an angel. She's I conceived her through IVF.
Okay.
I don't know if you're aware of what IVF is. Yeah. So she's a miracle baby. I could not conceive normally, like normal people would, the conventional way.
Yeah.
So I had to go through the needles and all those other stuff to get her. So she's my miracle baby. I'm not married. Yeah.
Wow.
But I do have a special someone in my life, but I'm not married.
So tell me, how much time do you spend with your child since you are always busy with work?
I do make time for her. I think between work and home, I spend more time at home than I do at the office. I do have time for her. It's not that difficult. I'm at the office latest. If I don't have to go to court, I'm here by 8:30, 9. And this time, I'm already out in the car driving home until she sleeps at 11 because she sleeps late. And weekends, I'm at home with her. So I haven't really experienced any difficulties yet in terms of mothering. Maybe it's because I wanted it so bad to become a mother that she's my world. My world revolves around her, and anything else takes center stage,
Okay.
the backstage.
Wow.
She takes center, the others take the backstage. Yeah.
Wow, what an interesting story about your life. And then I hope to have more interviews with you in the future because we still have more to talk about. But for today, we are done. So viewers, this was the story of cis patient Chavalala. Hope to see you again soon. Cis patient, it was nice meeting you.
Same here.
Then I hope to see you again in the future.
Thank you.
Thank you viewers for watching Visible Change. So this was our miracle interview with cis patients. But we hope to see you again next week, same time, different places. Thank you.